Alright, what's up y'all? We are back with another episode of Brutally Simple Cooking, and tonight on the docket we have an all-time favorite, mustard goat cheese burgers. You guys are gonna love this. Now remember, we're trying to keep this brutally simple, so we're not weighing and measuring. You're not gonna see some accurate measurements here. You're gonna get the gist of what we're trying to do. And remember, pro tip, mise en place, have everything in place before you start. That way you know you got what you need. So tonight for the burgers, we've got some ground beef. All right, this is a 1.5 pounds of organic ground beef from Costco. I'm gonna crumble that up in our mixing bowl a little bit to make it easier to mix. All right, now also our famous trio of seasonings, brutally simple seasonings. We've got some salt. I'm just gonna give us a light sprinkle there. We've got, of course, pepper. And then we almost always put garlic powder on everything. So we're gonna give us a nice sprinkle of garlic powder. Now, pro tip, get garlic powder versus garlic salt. That way you control each of the different ingredients. All right, and then one of the stars of the show tonight, we have some leftover goat cheese that we basically hand crumbled. We're gonna throw that in the mix. And then there's some new shredded goat cheese from Whole Foods that we really like. And we're gonna put that in the mix. Now, how much? I don't know. That's up to you. A reasonable amount. The star of the show, mustard. Now, any yellow mustard will do as long as the ingredients check out. My favorite's this organic yellow from Whole Foods. Even French's checked out last time I saw it. So as far as amounts here, you got to think, when we make mustard burgers or when you see them made at like some place like In-N-Out, they're getting a good squirt for both sides. So I'm thinking this is going to make us maybe 6 burgers. I'm going to give it a really nice squirt like that right there. All right. Now also to hold things together, we're going to use 1 egg. And now we're going to mix all this up. Now get your hands nice and dirty. Since we've got a bunch of spices and seasonings and cheese and egg, we got to make sure that we mix this really, really, really well. All right, so the first thing you're going to need is a skillet. We recommend using a scan pan or ceramic. All right, and then we want to turn this sucker up to about a medium-high heat, something along these lines right here, and let this thing get hot. All right, then we're going to take some butter. We're going to grease the pan just a little bit. And then we're going to save this little piece of butter to grease it later. Now, pro tip, use little chunks of butter like that to grease the pan. It makes things easier. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take about a fistful of meat. This is the perfect size for a burger. And you don't want to smash this together and smack it so much that it becomes dense. You just want something really nice and flat, just like that right there. Pro tip, do everything different from what you see on TV. All right, everybody else tells you to pack it really hard. We're saying keep it flat and loose. Now, we're going to let that cook until it gets brown on the sides, gets a little bit firm, and then we'll flip it. You know what I'm saying? All right, so these are looking nice and brown, so we're going to flip these. Now, pro tip, use a big flat spatula just like this, silicone base, you know what I'm saying? All right, now when you feel like these burgers are nice and done, you can put them on your serving plate, whatever that is. Now, pro tip, make use of everything. We're going to scrape up this stuff, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it. All right, so we just happen to have a pre-cooked sweet potato. And what I'm going to do is cook this in this mustard grease, just like that right there. All right, so we're going to cook this in the burger and mustard grease right here. Double fried sweet potatoes. All right, look at that gorgeousness.
What are we tasting?
What are we tasting? This is brutally simple mustard goat cheese burgers, if you do ask.
I did.
All right, so here we go. The ultimate taste tester right here.
Hamburgers.
Yep. That's pretty damn good. Now,
It's my favorite.
all right, now for the double cooked sweet potatoes, they were already cooked, and then we cooked it in the mustard and burger grease. Let's test it out.
Yep. Those are good.
That's really good. Now, pro tip. If you end up doing the double cooked sweet potatoes, the dirtier the pan, the dirtier the potatoes. Wait, is that what we meant? The dirtier the pan from the previously cooked foods, the better the sweet potatoes.